Vader has flashbacks of him killing Padme as he screams no. In his anger, he force pushes Palpatine into the wall, and then Palpatine puts him in his place with some Force lightning. The first thing Vader has to do is get a new lightsaber, and Palpatine tells him that the saber of a Sith is taken, not given. To get his new lightsaber, Palpatine sends him to get Jedi Master Infila, who has separated himself from the Jedi Council and politics, to focus on only one thing: to fight. They duel and the Jedi bests Vader, pushing Vader to a great fall. After he recovers, Vader unleashes a dam onto the civilians below and is able to take the lightsaber and kill the Jedi. Palpatine sends him to Mustafar to make the crystal bleed and turn red. The crystal fights back and shocks Vader. He has visions of him killing Palpatine, and he sees Obi-Wan as well. He realizes it is not real and makes the crystal turn red. Vader is told about the Inquisitors and that he will be their teacher. The Inquisitors have a list of Jedi, and one name in particular is highlighted: Jocasta Nu, the librarian and archive protector from the Jedi Temple. We see her making her own holocron. Vader is tasked with keeping her alive so they can gain her knowledge. He prevents the Grand Inquisitor from killing her. This gives her time to escape, and she's able to delete all the Jedi archives. She reveals to the stormtroopers that Vader is in fact Anakin, and he has to kill them straight away, blaming their deaths on her. Vader also comes into possession of the memory crystal with all the names of the known potential Jedi. We see the new archive that Jocasta Nu has made on a planet unknown. Vader is following a Jedi lead where he is ambushed. He finds out that the ambush was set up within Imperial ranks. Palpatine sets the record straight, and Vader kills 5 Imperial officers at one time. Vader is sent to Mon Cala, where Palpatine believes that the King is being advised by a Jedi. This Jedi is using the Force to influence the King and the group of people who follow him. Vader captures the King and fights the Jedi, but not before the Jedi shares his premonitions about the Mon Cala ships and their influence for the rebellion. Time passes and Vader has tasked Tarkin with the challenge of killing him, as Vader is finding no challenge and wants to know if he can still be destroyed. Vader finds former Jedi Eth Koth, just as his child has been born. Eth fights Vader so his family can escape, but the Inquisitors get the baby, and Vader defeats Eth. Vader hands the child to these guys, for what reason it doesn't say. Time passes, and nearly all the Jedi are gone from the galaxy. 2 Inquisitors have feelings for each other, and Vader decides to punish them for it, as he sees it as a weakness. The 2 Inquisitors are on the run, and they even take down Vader's speeder, which crash lands into these 2 having a picnic. The Inquisitors think they have the jump on Vader, when he force chokes them both, turns each other's blade on one another. The path of their chase can be seen by the trail of destruction left behind. Palpatine does not like this, and moves the Inquisitors off-world and tells Vader that the Inquisitors are no longer under his control. Palpatine gives Vader Padme's ship. Vader says now the Jedi are gone, he'll perform any task, but first he wants a world. The Emperor offers him Naboo, his homeworld, as a gesture of goodwill, or even Tatooine, his homeworld. But Vader wants Mustafar. Before Vader leaves for Mustafar, Palpatine gives him the mask of Lord Mormon. On entry to the planet, Vader purposely deactivates the shields and burns Padme's ship up. Vader takes the mask to a place on Mustafar that is strong with the dark side. The mask is a sort of embodiment of Mormon. It seems to work in the same way a holocron does. We find out that his master was a human woman called Shah, and that Mormon created a machine of first of all planet-destructing powers, but it was also able to harness the pain and fear of the individuals on the planet as they died, and keep it forever. But at the vital moment, the Jedi came and ruined his plans. The locals on Mustafar come to see Vader and are hostile. He takes them out and places the mask on top of one of the locals so that he can learn more without putting the mask on himself. Mormon claims that one of his designs is a key to the door of the dark side and states that all things are possible through the Force. Vader doesn't want to be sold a dream, so he does some Force choking just to warn Mormon. Vader decides that he will help Mormon build his so-called masterpiece once again. At the 9th time of trying, it finally works. Vader uses the Force and opens the door. Just as Vader's about to go in, he gets called back by Mormon because they are under attack from locals on Mustafar. Although it was true, it was also a lie so that Mormon could be alone with the machine that he had created, now that Vader had used the Force to open it. Vader realizes too late and is thrown from the structure. As the individual who is wearing Mormon's mask walks closer to the center of the machine, we see Mormon himself. His hands reach out of the flames and take the mask. Mormon puts the mask on and steps out of the machine, hundreds if not thousands of years after he last existed in normal reality at least. Vader enters the battle against the locals, and the stormtroopers love it and they follow him. Somehow the locals use their spears to push a wave of lava across the battlefield, destroying all the Imperials. Vader is submerged in the lava, but uses a force ball to protect himself. Once jumping free from the lava, he retreats back to the fortress, where Mormon is waiting for him. They battle. As they fight, Mormon explains that he made all these machines in his past life and now just to please the dark side. Mormon actually gets the best of Vader. Vader even loses his arm, but just before he's about to get cut down, he asks if Mormon was lying about all things being possible. Mormon says, "No, I didn't lie. All things are possible." And when Vader has his answer, he force throws a massive lump of the structure into Mormon and crushes him against the wall. Vader then uses the Force to open the door again, and this time he does walk through. As he walks through, only his Force self is able to enter. He walks past all different memories from his life, such as his mother and premonitions that he had as a child, him growing up in the temple, and his relationship with Ahsoka. Finally walks up to the Jedi temple, where many masters are gathered in front. He takes them out and walks in, where Palpatine and Obi-Wan Kenobi are standing atop of some stairs. They fight and Palpatine takes out Obi-Wan. Palpatine instructs Vader to stop. Vader doesn't care, lightnings him and walks straight on to a balcony where Padme is. He urges her to come with him. She says she doesn't know him anymore, so why would she want to go anywhere with him? And she jumps off the balcony. Anakin uses the Force to stop her fall, but it seems like the dark side itself decides to take her from him. And then off in the distance, we see this, which I'm assuming is Luke, but who knows. When Vader comes to, he takes his lightsaber and destroys Mormon's creation.